Okay, so I've made a raw chocolate from oops, where is it? Elements for Life, raw chocolate making kit. That looks flipped. I hope when you view it, it's the right way around. But yeah, vegan and diabetic friendly. It comes with raw cacao butter, 120 grams, raw cacao powder, 100 grams, which is double bagged so the powder doesn't fluff if one bag sort of, well, no, stop it, I'm going everywhere. Instruction booklet and Sweet Freedom, 100% from fruit, sweet, natural. 25% fewer calories than sugar and low glycemic index, so it's diabetic friendly. Per 100 grams it has 72 grams of carbs. Per teaspoon is 3.3. So made from syrup from natural fruit extracts of apples, grapes and carob, which I personally have decided not to use for this because I have gone keto diet to help control my diabetes. So I've cut down sugars and carbs pretty much completely. I try and do less than 20 grams a day, and the 20 grams of carbs come from if I eat anything like almonds or maybe avocado or something that's not classed as a carbohydrate that will still keep me in ketosis, but it has some natural sugars, and the total for the day is like 15 to 20. That's sort of my limit before I kick into keto, unless it is something actually sugary, in which case I go out of it. Anyway, around to the chocolate. What I've done, I don't think I can flip it now. It's going to be challenging. Okay, so a glass, double boil it in there. In the original mix, I ate some of the raw cacao butter a little bit because I just wanted to try it on its own. So I was working with a little bit less than 100, so I had to just sort of kind of guess and add the cacao powder until I sort of felt it was the right consistency or balance. So, by the way, so I chose not to use the Sweet Freedom sweetener. I bought some powdered erythritol, which is a natural sweetener. A lot of sweeteners, whatever they are, the regular ones, still peak blood sugar. They just, even though they're not, well, yeah, they still peak blood sugar. They still raise it. So what I've done is got erythritol, which has, although it's a bit confusing, I don't know how it works, but per 100 grams, there's 100 grams of carbohydrate in erythritol, but of which sugar? So the amount of carbohydrate that's in the form of sugar is 0 grams. Now normally in diabetes we check the carbohydrate total, not just the sugars, but in this it actually has 0 calories, 0 glycemic index, because it doesn't peak blood sugar at all, which is really bizarre, and I don't know what that is between the carbs and the thing, but it tastes sweet. It's a sweetener. It's pretty nice actually. It's fairly tasteless. There is a bit of taste to it, but it's quite gentle, soft. So I've got that in there. But before I added that, okay, so here it is. I did 3 non-sweetener, just the powder and the cacao butter. I did just these for 3 of them, and then I thought, I know what I'm going to do instead. I powdered, so I had some raspberries which is one of the lowest, it's one of the fruits with the lowest amount of sugar in it. So you can eat a small handful of raspberries on a ketogenic diet, which is a fat-based, low or no carb diet. You can eat a handful of raspberries and it still doesn't kick you out of ketosis, which is pretty cool. So I got my little tea strainer, which is finer than a sieve, and I just mashed the fresh berries through it and got all the sort of the juice and the fruit pulp into a glass, and then I put greaseproof paper on in a dehydrator tray and just spooned it on, spread it around, put the dehydrator on. It dried pretty quick on a low temperature so it stays raw. Then when it was dry, I spread it a bit too thin, so I spread it a bit thin, so it dried thinner than it was spread, because it shrinks because all the water goes away. So I had to peel it off. It was quite hard, so I'll do it a bit thicker next time. But yeah, peeled it off, and then I had like a nice clump. I stuck it in my NutriBullet, and blended it all up into, I'll show you, into this powder. I think it may have gained a little bit more moisture, unless it's just the sugars. I mean, it feels dry. I'm afraid this like area around here, your face, basically your cheeks and around your lips, is the best place. Obviously I didn't do that because I'm putting it in food. This will be mine anyway, the rest of it that I just did. But yeah, it's the best place to sense whether something's cold or wet. Well, like just cold or cold and wet, or just wet in general. So this is dried powdered raspberries, or raspberry juice, which tastes amazing, and it's sweet in itself. Sweet and fruity. It's really good, and it almost melts. And there's no seeds, which is great. We can't digest seeds very well as humans, especially with the outer little husk on it. And it will just add bits that get stuck in your teeth. So anyway, added some of that to each of these after. Next two, these two, if I remember correctly, are unsweetened with nothing added. So just the cacao butter and powder. This one, what did I do for that? Let's I don't know whether that's got anything added or not. Some of these in the middle I've sort of forgotten. Oh, this one, yes, I added just, so it's that and the erythritol. A bit of erythritol. So it's just plain with a bit of sweetener. The next two, hold on. Okay, this one I added cinnamon, which tastes really good in the mix. And I added that separately, so I added it onto. First I dusted around it, poured it in, then added more on top and just mixed it with a little spoon. Because I made it a whole batch and then added separate stuff. This one, okay, from here onwards, so I went this way. From here and all these, I added coconut oil into the mix. So I think this one is just coconut oil. Oh, and so, sorry, from here onwards, I added erythritol. All of these have erythritol sweetener. And then from here on, I'd added coconut oil. This one, I believe, was another raspberry one. Oh no, that's salt. Yes, I did salt in that. And then these are ginger. Oh. So, organic ground ginger, 500 grams. I've had this for years because it's really strong. It's so much higher quality and stronger than others. It's not mine. It's from Forest Whole Foods, organic. I'm not affiliate. Can you see that? Where's the light? There we go. Forest Whole Foods organic. I'm not affiliated. It's such a good quality ginger. It's so strong. I think I've needed less of it than regular shop bought ginger powder, or even Holland & Barrett regular powder, ginger powder. It's really strong, good quality. So I added a bit of that, maybe a fifth-ish of a teaspoon to the mix. Poured it in here. That's just the little bit that was left over. And that's it. I think I added a bit more raspberry. Oh, this one, I think I added more raspberry to this. So that's got the butter, the powder, erythritol, coconut oil, and some raspberry chunk. It's just dipped in and then it sort of sinks in and dissolves in. So that's all I've made, and I've got this left. And of course you get this mould with it. You get to choose between a heart mould, which is, I think it was like a Valentine's Day theme one, or this swirl mould. I chose the swirl mould because I like the way it looks. Yeah, and they're all salt one. I'm looking forward to trying that. I put quite a bit of, oh yeah, that was it, pink Himalayan. Oh, I put a little bit of pink Himalayan, actually, in all of them in the beginning. Just a couple of grinds, because it's so good for keeping up electrolyte levels, especially with a no-carb diet. because the more carbs you have, the more your body holds on to water, and the more your body holds on to electrolytes. It's something to do with how the body operates, because insulin is responsible not only for getting glucose into cells, but for getting other minerals into the cells too, like potassium, which is the main electrolyte mineral, and other things. So eating carbs means you hold on to more electrolytes and more water, so going low or no carb reduces. That's why a lot of people lose weight. It's actually one of the losing weight diets in a healthy way, as long as you do it in a healthy way. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up talking about that. But yes, so including salt is great, and also it improves the taste of everything that you add it to. What am I doing? Yeah, that's it. So, to recap what's here, to remind myself, 3, it's all raw as well, or at least as long as I didn't heat it too much. I may have, I'm not sure, so it might be slightly cooked, but it should be. All the ingredients come raw, and all the ingredients come raw, and as long as you do it on a low enough heat, which I tried to do, then they will stay as raw chocolates. These might be semi-cooked raw chocolates. Okay, 3 chocolates, no sweetener, with raspberry. 2 chocolates, no sweetener, completely plain, with salt as granted in all of them. This one, plain chocolate with erythritol. Oh, no. Then we have... Okay, I'll just leave that. Okay. Plain with sweetener. Plain with coconut oil. That might have been with coconut oil. I can't remember. At least from here on it's coconut. So plain with coconut, and then I added another raspberry. Oh, with sweetener. So all of these have sweetener. Coconut might have started from here or here. I think it was from here. So chocolate with coconut, erythritol and raspberry. Coconut, erythritol and cinnamon. Coconut, erythritol, salt, Himalayan salt. Coconut, erythritol and ginger. Very nice. So far the mix has tasted amazing, and I bet, to be honest, I tried Sweet Freedom a while ago, I think, and it was pretty good taste wise. I imagine the chocolates might taste better with this. Well, I mean, probably no doubt they will to most people, but as I said, I'm trying to go low fat, so I'm trying different varieties to see. Cinnamon also works as a sweetener, so the one I've got with cinnamon should be pretty good. And you know, you can have sweet or salty, and both are pretty satisfying to eat. So the salt one actually has erythritol in it anyway, so hopefully it works. That's it. Brilliant. Buy it. It's about 20 quid. I did get it on a sort of an offer, I think Valentine's Day offer or something. It was like $12.99 or something. But it is worth it. You get the instructions. You get enough for about 2 fill trays of this. Remember, I ate some of that and powder, and I probably have more. I just didn't want to use too much, and then, you know, whatever. So I tried to estimate. So you've got enough for 2, maybe even 3, or 2.5 or 3 moulds worth of little chocolates. Instructions, nice box that it comes in, Sweet Freedom, which of course you can keep the bottle after, and you can buy the individual ingredients on there as well if you've already got a mould you want to use, or you want to make your own mould. I don't know, out of tin foil and just make a chocolate bar, whatever. But they sell several moulds on the site of making mini chocolate bar, well, regular sized chocolate, and then like big bars of chocolate. Many different sized and shaped, many different shaped things. You've got the swirls, you've got the hearts, you've got stars, and loads of things. Button moulds, for making buttons. There we go, so that's my review. Elements for Life, amazing raw chocolate. So they're free from dairy, soy, gluten, GMO and anything artificial. It's raw, heirloom Criollo cacao, all raw. Comes straight from Peru, from some, well, it's highly ethically sourced, basically, you know. So that's one reason. And Dan, and his wife, the creator, Dan and his wife run the business, making and selling all these things. They make amazing. You've got to try their brownies. Get a brownie. I know the price is like, I think it's about £3, but it is the best brownie you have ever tasted. And of course it has ceremonial properties too, because it's all raw cacao. And Dan runs cacao ceremonies both online and, when he can, in the teepees, or in his teepee. And that is beautiful. So I really recommend checking that out. www.elementsforlife.co.uk/community. I'm not affiliated, I just love their stuff. So this is a little kind of review and making my version of chocolates. Yeah, you can just kind of get the kit and do what you like with it. I do recommend following their original recipe when you can, just to get an idea of a baseline, unless you're like me and you're trying to avoid sugar completely. But like I say, the Sweet Freedom is diabetic friendly, low glycemic index, which means it doesn't spike your insulin fast. It's more of a slow arc, and it doesn't go as high, which is obviously better for diabetes control in general, and it's lower carb, so it's pretty good. It's keto. Well, is it? Hold on. I think it's just diabetic friendly. Some people might consider it keto friendly, but likely not, because it's made of fruit syrups. But as long as you're staying under the amount, it's personal to you. Some people on keto work better with some things, and some work better with others. To some, having 50 grams of carbs a day, they can stay within a ketosis state, depending where the carbs come from. You get some carbs in vegetables, in things like cabbage and that. It's very minimal. Obviously the build-up, if you're eating lots of them, you can get there. Some people can only manage 10 or 15 carbs a day. So hey, whatever, I'm going to stop rambling. Please check them out. They're good friends of mine. I'm not affiliated. Yeah, but I wouldn't be doing it unless this stuff was amazing. Yeah, lots of love. See you soon.